I guess we're going to do this one with the data that I have, since we're here. This is, again, like with every other video that I've done tonight, this is very, very off the cuff, very, very quick, because this one is more... I have one of two lanes ahead of me. I can either be the person that responds to this on Twitter by fighting somebody on Twitter, which is largely fucking useless, or I can show all of you what a fool looks like and show what we can do to show that this person is, in fact, a fool. So, okay. Let's go ahead and take a look real quick at this lovely, lovely post here. This is from a Henry Fisher. And he says that he is a real paramedic, which I am willing to believe. He then says that this is a real situation that happened between him and a patient. Now, what we're going to do here, is we are going to actually look at his statements. We are going to fact check his statements on what he has said with him and another patient, because all of this relates to, of course, the favorite conspiracy theory nut job thing that has happened since 2020, COVID vaccines. Yes, it's been 4 years, and we are still talking about COVID vaccines for some reason. Anyway, let's go over these very real experiences. Patient: please, God, bring back my baby! This can't be happening to us! This can't be real! Patient is crying and screaming post-stillbirth. Conversation occurred en route to a hospital after initial patient care. Patient: I did everything right! Why did God do this to us? I'm very sorry. Have you had any other pregnancies? Any health history? Take medications daily? Just my vitamins. Oh, my first pregnancy. Did you take any COVID vaccines? No. My husband had to for his job. I didn't take any. Did he take them before or after you were pregnant? Before. Why does that matter? I've seen a lot of miscarriages since the release of the COVID shots. Patient dropped her head and began crying more. Being that the patient spoke of God, I asked if she would like to pray. She agreed. I hope God has since granted them with a healthy child. She continued to cry off and on en route to the facility of choice. She then, the poster then says, most of the miscarriages I've seen since 2021 have been from vaccinated mothers, though I have witnessed some that are unvaccinated with a vaccinated spouse. Due to the immense amount of deaths surrounding these COVID shots, I am of the opinion that most of the abnormalities these days should be deemed mRNA-related until proven otherwise. This new technology is dangerous, and those harmed are not properly studied on purpose. RIP to all the murdered children. Prayers of peace for the grieving parents. God bless. Now, there's an interesting thing to note here. Very, very interesting thing to note here. Give me a second. We're going to find a stat here. We're going to find how many people in the United States are vaccinated. Now, when I tell you, the first thing that comes up is that 81% of the United States population, 81%, have at least had one dose of the vaccine. Wouldn't it then follow, if you were a not a stupid fucking person, wouldn't it then follow that you would see more vaccinated people having miscarriages because most of the population is vaccinated? Wouldn't that make sense? Wouldn't more vaccinated people naturally mean that more of your stillbirths that you see are from vaccinated people? Because there are more people who are vaccinated in the United States? In fact, if most of the United States population is vaccinated, which it is, doesn't it then follow very, very quickly that most of the patients that you see with miscarriages will be miscarriages from people who are vaccinated? Because most of the population is vaccinated. Now, I decided that I couldn't just do a correlation as causation thing here. We could stop it at that. We could just end things there. We could use all of the links that were provided by people doing the community notes posting against this absolutely derangedly stupid moron. We could do that. Or, here's something else we could do. We could look at the rate of stillbirths leading up to 2022. We don't have a ton of data from the last few years that I was able to find in very short notice. And this data is, of course, from the United Kingdom, so it's a bit of a different environment to here, but the availability of the vaccine was the same in the United Kingdom as it was in the United States of America. So, if we look at the number of stillbirths in 2017, there were 2,873 stillbursts. Stillbursts! Bursts! Oh, I certainly hope the babies didn't burst. But no, stillbirths. 2018, that number creeps down to 2,689. 2019, 2,522. 2020, 2,371. Once you get to 2021, though, which is when we should see a significant spike, like a massively significant, statistically significant spike in stillbirths because the COVID vaccine was available in record time, right? That's what we should see. And instead, what we see is that the number of stillbirths is in the exact same trend. Below or above 2,000, below 3,000. 2,597 is, in fact, fewer stillbirths than in 2018 and in 2017. More than 2019 and 2020, but less than in the years previous to that. That's just interesting to me. That's so interesting. I feel like maybe this whole thing that this dude was talking about is made the hell up. It has to be made the hell up. It absolutely has to be. But I want to see how the conversations in the comment section have gone, and I will flip between Facecam and this because I don't want Twitter to show me porn, and then Twitch to see the porn, and YouTube to see the porn, and then I get banned on all the platforms for effectively showing my audience porn. First one is from the coerced nurse. So like me or hate me, I'm going to say it. I pray to God this is not actually a conversation you have with someone that has just lost a child. To even remotely imply that something she or her husband did or didn't do caused the loss of the baby is absolutely maddened and more hurtful to her than you will ever fathom. I promise you she is already carrying around enough guilt, especially in that moment. You didn't need to add to it. Regardless of what you think did or didn't cause one of the most painful moments she will ever experience, not the place or time, no matter what did or didn't contribute to the loss. I am saying this as a vaccine-injured person, as well as a mom that rocked her child into heaven, so yes, I have the ability to criticize before anyone wants to come at me. And of course, he says, I was asked a direct question, I answered honestly. Now let's go back to his post real quick. Why did God do this to us? That was the question. Why did God do this to us? The correct thing you say in that situation is not the atheist tipping the hat thing, man, God doesn't exist. I am Dr. House. No. And the correct thing to do is not what this dipshit did, where he starts trying to go for the, let's Socratically get to the way to blame vaccines for this. The correct thing to do is to just hold the fucking parent and let them grieve. I shit you not. If you ever are in a situation where somebody is experiencing this level of loss, the correct thing to do to console them in this situation is to just be there. Hold them. Hug them. Give them some kind of physical reaffirmation that they are grounded. That is the correct thing to do. The correct thing to do is to not engage in this kind of rhetoric. The correct thing to do is to not try to pry into the personal lives of this person. The time for that is later. Your job in this situation is to be responsible for the mental well-being of the patient. And in this situation, again, the correct thing to do is to help them grieve. Help them live through this. Help them survive this moment. Because if they can survive this moment, the next steps will be easier. I say this as somebody who, once upon a time, could have had a few sisters from my mom. And then one of them died in her womb, and one of them died within about 6 months of being born. I was considered a kind of miracle baby for reasons, because I survived all of the stuff that apparently killed my other family members. So when we look at this, when my mom has dealt with people who have had miscarriages and shit, just in real life, random people, this has been the stuff that she has done. Because when she was grieving this way, this is the stuff that she needed. So not only have we done a little itty bitty fact check, showing that no, there's no way to actually correlate this shit, and the amount of stillbirths have not gone up in the last few years, at least not that we can find supported by data. And we can also say that this is not the right thing to do for ethical reasons. This is where I'm going to leave it to y'all. Let me know in the comment section below what you think should be done in this type of situation. Let me know what y'all think about this whole thing, if you think it was okay or not. That all said, keep me in mind down there. Hit the like button if you haven't already. And as always, insert in the video tagline here. Hey, just wanted to give a quick thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who help keep me afloat and help keep this channel going. YouTube and Twitch are wonderful platforms, but at the end of the day, stability is not one of their strong suits. If you want to support my channel, then obviously Patreon is one of the best ways of doing that. Link is in the description. But I do want to personally thank everybody who has contributed to the channel. Those people would be Red Joker, Purple Poundini, Jemshin, Britzkrieg, Jupe the Malignant, Michael, Ravalern, Mabbity Babbity, Astral Frontier, Autumn and Angel, Nixie Chan, Mark Anthony, Victorian Alchemist, I'm not saying the last part of that, and you know that, Arcton Arclacier, Kiratorian, Dren Hadamata, Jordan M, John L, Lord Bleck, Smiling Game Master, and Fireshard. And everyone else who supports my channel and lets me do what I do full time. This is a dream job of mine that I never believed that I would be able to take full time, and with your help, I've been able to do it. So thank you so very much for that. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you all enjoy, and I hope you all are having a wonderful time. I will see you all in the next one, hopefully.